tell the people more about the advantages of our products.
They never lose their cool.
Expand your mind. But I've got a better source of information.
There we go.
All right, there we go. All right, now. What's going on? I'm your man Beatdown Brown up here with my man E3PO up here on the first inaugural Dirty 30.
Yes,
it's real
sir.
dirty today, man. We up here trying to fill our way through. We gonna make it happen.
Exactly. We'll get you.
What's going on, E3PO?
Hey, man, I'm maintaining, family. Maintaining, man. What's good with you?
Man, I'm good, man. Just up here chilling out, man. Want to get in and throw this up real quick.
Okay.
You brought something to my plate for the initial joint. And
yeah.
Go ahead and give it to the people so we can go ahead.
Man, I guess our long lost homeboy, well, incarcerated homeboy, the former CEO of Death Row Records, is still making a name for himself as he jumps into the podcast game.
Yeah.
I guess what was the title? Collect Call from Suge,
Yeah,
which is dope as hell. And I think he's
I'm gonna try and bring up that intro while we're doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think he teamed up with what was that, the old boy from The Source?
Yeah, David Mays, man.
Yeah, he teamed up with
literally started The Source.
Yeah, so he got some backing, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of phone calls recorded. They said they got some stuff already done, and it's gonna be a little crazy with the new owner of Death Row and all the people now they didn't found their voice once Suge didn't got locked up. So
right.
We shall see how this podcast go. I think it's gonna be doing something, man. And I guess it's gonna be interactive where folks can pretty much like ask Suge,
That's gonna be
segment
wild.
or whatever. So he got some people behind him putting this together, man. It should be very interesting, man. I'm looking forward to checking some of it out. Why not? Capitalize. Hopefully he'd be able to, get a couple dollars out of this, which I'm sure he probably did, make sure that he's getting, paid on the back end of that. But yeah, because that name recognition alone, like, when Suge talk, motherfuckers listen. And like I said, I wanted to parlay that into also his side of the story on that Keefy D shit.
Here we go. Bringing it up right now. Tell me if we got audio on it.
Yeah.
Who killed Tupac? Would you tell the police?
We just have to really work hard back today.
Shakur shot 5 times while on trial. Snoop Doggy Dogg
was indicted for murder.
Death row within $300 million. Death row with a possible RICO case in mind.
People don't know about a lot of this stuff.
David Mays started The Source on the news source for news. The magazine is now a $10 billion a year publication.
Every time you turn around, everybody want to spread some lies or some shit.
Tell Tupac I'ma bail his ass out.
Warren G, you can take care of yourself. How are you gonna get Pac out of prison?
Should be more than press charges.
Akon.
You did what everybody mad at 6ix9ine about.
Look here, boy.
The hip-hop magazine The Source has honored its picks for the best in rap.
I'm the first one told people about your masters. But I was telling people about my masters, they said, what is that? I ain't no slave.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, we won't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record.
Copyright infringement.
That's all fair use comment on it.
Okay.
Afraid of him for sure.
One of the most powerful and feared men in the American music industry.
You have a prepaid call from
Suge Knight.
Yeah, boy. I didn't even know they had a promo for it like that. Okay, good shit, man. Was that in the that was in the link. All right. Yeah. I didn't even check that out, but it's Suge, man.
I mean, homeboy know how to put out a spectacle, man. He knew how to build something to make something big.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be big. And Dave Mays is the same thing, man. I mean, with whatever unfortunate things happen with the source
Yeah.
and Benzino and all that stuff before. I mean, Dave literally started the source from a pamphlet at Harvard.
Nice.
Like I went because I'm the skeptic. When I see certain people working with certain people, I go backwards and I go like, okay, what's the suspect portions? I mean, I understand there was things like Elliot Wilson talking about, cats changing mic ratings and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
And that
that
was
was
one
all.
thing.
Yeah,
But
even I'm sorry to cut you off, fam, but Benzino even just came out recently, said that he was the reason why Eminem didn't get 5 mics. He was solely the guy that was like, nope, not on my watch. Nope.
and that's unfortunate there, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. We're not dealing with a Vlad situation where we got a true vulture. We got a cat who
Right.
had true
Right.
love for the culture
Right.
from the beginning, coming out of
Right.
DC, who literally was bumping shoulders and everything with everybody for real. Put on some
Yeah.
of the heavyweights, your Elliot Wilsons. What's my man that found Biggie? Oh, I'm gonna feel bad now because I just brought up his name, Matty B.
Okay.
Put up Matty B and all like that. These people that are really big timers in the hip hop sphere. He put them all on and really maintained that. So we don't have a vulture running. Now the
Yeah.
wild part is Suge can go a number of ways. Yeah, like he said, you could tell him the good, the bad, the ugly, air out a little bit of dirt on it.
Yeah.
I actually went and scanned past the Breakbeat Media Network to see how I felt about the network. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, once again, I'm always looking for where stuff is suspect. You got your no jumpers and all that other stuff. Not that I'm
Right.
trying to prop them up, but you got your vulture networks. I'm like, okay, is this another one? But you got Bill Bellamy sitting over there. Was that the cat Funny Marco that
Yeah.
be up there? It actually ain't a half bad network when you look at it overall.
Yeah.
It's
But
pretty balanced.
yeah, man, I'm kind of looking forward to this because Suge was actually there.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like he has an opportunity to speak for himself because there's a lot of folks out here speaking on his behalf. You got a lot of folks that's speaking, second, third person. He was like, I was the dude. I did that. So it'd be good to hear from him. And again, to go back to that KVD situation, that them alphabet boys probably stepped to him and was like, look, man, you give us something on KVD, we could shave some of this time off.
Yeah.
And he, was like, nah, I look here, man. There's a code that certain cats live by, and I guess Suge's just gonna stand on it. Like, look, man, I ain't got nothing to say, especially what y'all want me to say. He was like, man, y'all, pretty much go do y'all damn homework, But that ain't him. He ain't the dude. The hood know that, and I think he'd be more embarrassed of copping out doing some sucker shit like that, knowing who actually did it.
Well, the big thing that I look at it on it too is Suge's history goes a lot further back than Death Row.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found this
Yeah.
out. I found this out recently going through other cast interviews like that. Like the person who made Suge was actually Gene Griffin,
Right.
Teddy Riley's godfather. So even get some Gene Griffin stories in would be, hot. Getting
Mhm.
some stuff from like back in the day then when he was just cutting his teeth, basically. That would be
I
actually
mean,
fire right
I'm
there.
I'm sure everything's gonna come out, but he don't really have to go that far back. He's just gonna go back off everybody else's, social media shit.
Yeah,
Now we in the podcast game or whatever. So he could go from podcast to podcast and start smashing folks.
yeah,
From Vlad to No Jumper to the rest of them, all of them. He's coming for them. You
yeah.
know
Because once again, like you said, you talking on me and you're not me.
that. See,
And
that's the thing,
you're talking about me and I have no ability for rebuttal.
right?
So now you got to pay the piper. Now you guys see me.
Once he start going like this body is over here, go ask so and so what I did to him. Go over into my other house, whatever, and get that video out and show him what I did to this person. Now all of a sudden, he a G now,
Yeah.
But back in the day, he had the cats, up under his thumb. And now everybody, now that he got some time on his, on his books, everybody gangster now. So we'll see.
Which is wild, man. It's you really look at the fact of the comfortability of it's really cats started interneting because
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
was, and these are people that aren't supposed to be interneting. Were they was really thumb thugging it up. It's like, oh, he gone. Oh,
Yeah.
let me tell you
Now let
now.
me get on. Yeah, let me get on
Yeah.
camera now. You can see my face and everything. How much time you get? Yeah, we should be good by then. By
Oh
the time
yeah,
he
yeah,
get
yeah.
home, he won't have that. That thumper. But t-shirts are coming. Interneting. Beat down Brown original interneting. That's what cats is doing now. So
It's really that because just looking at that type of situation, there was
yeah.
numerous stories like Cass was free about the mouth, and then next you know, Suge was at the back of the party. It was like,
Uh-oh. Yeah, what was that at the Source Awards, the Suge Knight effect? Cats was getting back on their private jets, getting the hell up on out of LA. Was like, yeah, man, we cool. Suge just came in. Okay, yeah, I'm out. He had the whole industry in a chokehold for a minute.
the only person. There's a couple people, but the only person you really heard that was just like, whatever. Besides the people that he was directly associated with, like Irv
Yeah.
and Rap a Lot and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
When they was trying to, make the conglomerate, the only people that was Luke. Basically, Luke was up there. It's like, oh, Death Row won it.
Yeah.
Because when they
Yeah.
came down to Miami, that whole story came out. It's just up there. It's like, oh, you really don't understand.
Yeah, we do this.
We
do this.
I talk about girls all day, but understand what it is.
Right. I know what come with that. When
Yeah.
you're dealing with those kind of females, you're gonna be dealing with some type of dudes on the flip side. That's somebody's sisters or somebody's, little mama. Excuse me, all that shit. And also the only person I know that comfortable talking about, how he dealt with Suge as well is Master P. Like when they had that interaction, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm moving to LA." And Suge said, like it's only room enough for one of us in LA. And the quote Master P, he was like, "So when you moving?" That's just what it is, man. There's just certain cats, man. You just ain't gonna talk, crazy to, and he wasn't one of those dudes, man.
When you look at these dudes, you have to understand who are industry tough guys.
Facts.
And who are tough guys.
Right.
And then the crazy part about P was not only was he hood solidified, but he took care of everybody around him. So there's a certain loyalty that comes along with that of, oh no, not only is P a possible rough dude, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Because
when you show true love to cats, man, most of them was willing to crash out.
Yeah.
Like you want me to get him? I get him. Just tell me when. Just tell me. So,
and that changes a whole lot. So yeah.
Right.
P was another real one in that one. But yeah, Suge, it's gonna be fun.
I'm waiting on like the first episode. I mean, he could, oh man, there's so many layers, man. He could go with, go after dudes, he could go after their chicks, he could go after, former artists, everybody. It's fair game now. Like we in this space with podcasting, it's all fair game, so it's gonna be very interesting.
The biggest thing about it is you talking about the dude with the receipts.
The dude who owns the store and got the receipts. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was really getting it like this.
No, you wasn't.
No, you wasn't.
No, you wasn't.
You wasn't because I wasn't letting you get it like
I could pull your W-2s for the past 10 to 15 years. Stop playing with me.
Oh man. you know what? This cat jerked me. Did I really jerk you, or did I give you this? Like,
Yeah.
it goes both ways. Because like, yeah, this cat jerked me. He wasn't doing this and this. I told you not to make this move, and I had to cover you with this move.
So my question to you is, man, how do you think this is going to play out with artists? You think anybody's going to come on and want to do and chat, collect call from Suge? Anybody want to, any takers?
You got a bunch of people. One, the fact of the matter is, they say he's going for promo, and it looks good for promo. They say he's going to go after Snoop, but he and Snoop already publicly acknowledged they squashed everything and that they talk.
Okay.
So I have a deep-seated feeling you're going to have a situation in there where Snoop is going to end up being on there, and I won't say it's going to be a love fest,
right?
But it's not going to be as reckless as you think it is.
Got you. Okay.
And the fact of that, we talked about this before, the fact that Snoop saved Death Row off the scrap heap. He didn't go and snatch it from Suge. He didn't do anything like that. It was literally sitting there on mothballs, and he went
it was
and
in the
got it
corner.
back.
Yeah, it was in it was on the shelf in the box way back in the back next to the Christmas decorations. Yeah. And like you said, he went and got it.
Death Row? What is this?
Yeah, if you read between the lines on how Snoop said, the deal went down, because he was, calling people like, hey, man, I heard you acquired this. What are you going to do? And they were like, what you just did with this? Shit, I don't know. We're going to, make a book stop. I don't know. What the fuck are we going to do with this? Yeah, let me get it, and kept the name. We'll just added, the new Death Row. Like you said, ain't shitting on Suge or anything, man. He's keeping it alive. What artist wouldn't want to own the label that they cut their teeth on?
Yeah.
They get their own shit back, their original shit, they get everything back. But, I don't know what, Suge been going back and forth saying that he, Snoop really don't own it and all that stuff. I just want all that stuff cleared up. Like, what's going on? Why would you even say that if Snoop is coming out? Like, look, I got artists, I got the label, we back, and Suge on the back end saying, nah, that ain't it.
You have that moment where if he owns the publishing, he owns the catalogs. That's it.
That's what he said. He was like, oh, he just owns the name. Snoop was like, no, I got everything. I got the catalogs. I got everything. I got the label.
Right. If you've got, we know how Suge goes. Suge has other, just like the original thing that funded it, going and grabbing Mr. Rob Van Winkle's publishing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have Rob Van Winkle's publishing.
Right.
That's not Death Row to Snoop.
Right.
Death Row to Snoop is what they made.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, no, you don't have everything, I got Dre's shit, I got my shit, I got Nate's shit, I got Daz and Corrupt shit.
Yeah, got all that shit. I got the soundtracks. I got all that shit.
I got that. Then cool. If you don't have the Death Row, there's actually a secret account.
You playing some? I hear what you're saying. You playing semantics right now. Like, you don't have everything. Like, he got enough. He got more than 90%.
You ain't got the first promo van we drove out.
You ain't got the original sketch of the Death Row logo. You don't own that, do you? No.
Yeah.
Okay. But
everybody's not Tyler the Creator with his high school notebooks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Flognaw was back then. No, you don't have that.
Yeah,
you got.
It's just crazy how funny times have changed, because like you said before, cats wasn't doing this. They wasn't talking like this. They never felt this free to be so reckless. With the info, and now you got all these OGs coming home and blowing up doing the podcast, and now we got he creating a new lane. We got cats in prison doing hard time, getting a deal.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? That's that in itself, you know what I'm saying, getting a deal while you in prison.
Well, the funny thing about it was I was watching Breakfast Club was talking about it too, because I poke around once we come up with a subject, and Charlamagne's like, oh, I don't think I want podcast mics up in prison, man. Podcast mics up in prison could get a little reckless. Cats up there talking like Fleece Johnson. And,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a whole new lane,
but
and it's
you know,
I don't know if Cat's gonna do that for clout. Like, yeah, man, we coming live. We just talked to Suge and da. No, no, man, I don't want that. But I understand what Suge is doing. I
yeah,
get it.
you have to get to a point where you can represent yourself,
By
and
yourself, yeah,
nobody else is speaking on it for you. Like, all
right,
right, that was cute, y'all. Whatever y'all thought, y'all could keep speaking for me. No,
right.
this is me. This is how we gonna talk about it, and this is what it's gonna be, and that's fire.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be just audio or they're going to do like those video chats. Because you could pay for those for certain prisons or whatever. They have that internet access thing, and to talk to their family. I don't know if they
I'm
want to
sure.
allow him to do that, or if he's like in one of those facilities where they don't cater to celebrities and all that other shit. So I don't know.
I'm sure. Even if it was on some paying the prepaid notice or whatever, David Mays has enough money set up
Got you.
to where he can go in, like I said, on some ordinary, like, okay, we want to pay for video calls instead of just straight up calls.
Right.
He's got that paper behind it.
Okay.
So it's not like Suge is doing this with us. Like, hey man,
we flipping pigeons for sure.
Hey man, hey, who paying for the collect call this week? Man, they
Right
hit me
on.
up for $75 last week on my cell phone. Man, I can't do
One of y'all better take the hit this week, man. I can't afford it. That damn Suge, man, he costing us money. We're gonna go back to writing notes.
that. Hey, tell Suge to text and we'll just read it aloud. We'll chat AI his voice.
Man, between us, man, we get our money right. We get him one of those prepaid Go phones. Like you said, just have him text us once a week, man. Just make sure it's long enough, man. Enough characters, and shoot that off, man, and we'll run with it. But those calls to the crib, man, you got to stop.
Yeah.
You got to stop.
Yeah, Dave got the paper to mess around with it, so I don't see it being a problem.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I was just
I see him
wondering.
being able to flip that.
Like I said, I was just wondering about the format, but anything, we still, his voice alone, you don't necessarily need visuals, just his voice alone,
But this goes back to what I was saying with all these. Listen to other casts where you get the OGs to get to tell their own story,
Yeah.
no matter how. And I'm not going to go shout out a whole bunch of other casts, but there's been casts where I look at somebody, it's like, oh, they only got 1 or 2 hits. They only was around for this much. They kind of a background player. And then they go off into a whole nother level of their story. It's like, whoa, one, you
Right.
didn't know they was there for it. And
Right.
then 2, besides not knowing they was there for it, it's like, it gets wild with like, oh, you was there for all that?
'Cause we of the generation where we read credits and we knew who did what when. Now we get the guys like, especially I can't stop watching, the DLC, when he
Mhm.
did his and all the stuff that he's been through, slash all the stuff that he's written, all the stuff that he didn't co-sign, all the dope stuff that we thought came out of, certain people's mouths. And he was like, he was the spell check, like,
Yeah.
nah, that's just terrible. Go do it again.
Yeah.
And he was the gatekeeper back then. We didn't know that. We just know him from a couple videos and the car accident. And speaking of
Absolutely.
which, I didn't know, which was a revelation, that it wasn't the car wreck that messed up his voice. He said he was fine until he went to his follow-up, and then they put that thing down his mouth and they scraped, and that tore up his what's called. It was not the car accident. Side note, believe it or not, he was like, my voice was fine after the wreck. He was like, when I did my follow-up, that's when they went in and they messed me up.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to the DLC, of course. No
One
one
of
can
them.
do it better.
Yeah, that right there, and this brings up a whole nother hell. This might be next week's episode, next Dirty 30 or whatever.
Yes, sir.
But it's like DLC is one of those people, just like people talk about, like, oh, Jay only this because Big ain't alive. And like Big told you, oh, you'd have just had the commission.
Yeah.
It would have still happened.
Yeah.
But DLC is one of those ones that's like, if the DLC didn't go away,
Mhm.
what would the West Coast landscape look like? What would what would folks be like? You know, who would have came up, who wouldn't have came up if you still got this cat doing this thing?
If he was still doing this thing and he had the following as a Snoop or as of Kendrick or what you call it, Nipsey, you know, if he
But
had that following, these kids looked up, they would have looked up to him and we would have had a whole new sound if he was, you know, able to still do what he did at that level. So
think about it. That would have changed the face of, because he was a Dre loyalist, so we know he was going Aftermath.
right.
He was at Death Row, but okay, so you leave Death Row for Aftermath. Who
Yeah.
doesn't get that shoulder room? You know what I'm saying? Because the
Man, yeah.
DOC is still doing that, and you still look at the cats like E40 from back in the day is doing it at this level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What happens with, and like you said, that pen,
That
that
alone.
pen.
That alone,
'Cause-
and we talked about him and, like, you know, his addictions, you know, with alcohol and stuff like that, and we bounced it around and was like, dude, you can only imagine, you know, you that guy, but nobody could hear, you know, they could hear you, but not the way that you want them to hear you know, and yeah, I will probably be somewhere knee deep in a bottle as well, but I'm still that pin game never went away. It
Yeah.
never went away.
It,
Yeah,
I'm
it's when you said, you know, what would that West Coast landscape? I was like, damn, the West Coast, man, the game, just the
game
game
period.
itself. You
I
know,
One thing I need Suge to answer while he up there talking reckless about Warren G. I need him to answer, what was the good idea about not signing Warren G? What was, because one, you was offended when he went on his own way,
right?
and he had to go.
Yeah, let's
Go ahead.
put it out there. First West Coast rapper to sign to Def Jam. Go ahead.
Yeah, he had to,
Yeah,
and they courted him heavy to
yeah,
get him there. But it's like,
you're right. That is a good question, man. I really
what
want to
was,
know from his side. Like, dude, of all the people, you know, you could have signed and you didn't.
yeah,
Like, he
it's
was
like,
literally family, you know, and you just looked over him like, oh no, we going another route.
and even the story that everybody in the studio tells, he's the one that was bringing the records to Dre and telling Dre to flip his sound up,
Oh,
because
you
he
know,
was.
yeah,
Go ahead.
you know why? I saw that interview with Warren on Drink Champs. You know why he didn't get signed? He was telling cats to read their contract.
Okay.
That's what it was. And he said he got yoked up and he said, you know, he wouldn't call some of his homeboys or whatever. Like, man, if you don't get your motherfucking hands off me. But yeah, that's what it was. He was like, I'm not signing any of that stuff. He wouldn't sign without reading
Okay.
it or without having, you know, proper representation. That's what it was. That there's no real deep mystery there. It just popped in my head. He did actually say that. That's why he didn't get signed. He was telling motherfuckers on the low, like, nigga, you know, you better not sign that shit. You know, at least go get it checked out first. And I think he was the one who told Snoop, like, dude, you better get that shit checked out before you sign.
But that makes sense though, because he was Snoop's boy.
Yes.
He was Snoop and Nate's boy. And then he already saw what Cube told them about what happened with Dre and Easy. So you already seen Dre go through a bad one.
Yep.
So yeah, you would be like, yo, dog, you need to get your
Like,
paperwork together.
you need to sign that, bro. Cause yeah, I ain't doing no funny business like that. I'm not trying to get yoked. Like you said, his big brother just left a bad deal, you know. So yeah, because he's the one who's like, you know, Snoopy could rap, you know, and the rest is history, you know.
Yeah, that's should answering to do. Because he got some answering to do, because it's like, in certain situations, yeah, you was trying to run your label a certain way, but
right.
Yeah, it's suspect with, you know, how you ran things, who you didn't put on, who you did put on, and what you made happen or not happen. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Right.
going to be an interesting listen. I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, we definitely do a follow-up, man, and make sure we stay on top of it. And dude, I slept on the damn promo. Good looking out, man. I just saw the headline and that was enough for me. I didn't even know
Not
they
a
had a
problem.
promo, but Appreciate you. This is our first episode of the Dirty 30. Me and my brother beat down. Yeah, we definitely gonna try to set up and do it again and keep it coming.